Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we will see about the P2P process. What is a P2P process in indirect procurement? Understanding the indirect procurement. Indirect procurement cover buying of a goods and services that do not directly goes into the product. For example, office supplies, IT, facility maintenance, logistics that are a part of our services, but it doesn't goes into the final product that we are making. Thus, it is a backbone of any organization for the streamline and a successful and a smooth running of organization. So we will see what's the P2P processes. So the procure to pay processes need identifications. Department identifies a requirement for the equipment or a service needed. For example, if a human resource department is having a requirement of a air conditioning, then they will recognize the need. This air conditioning is required for this particular area. Then the need has been recognized by the user. Requisition creation. Raise the purchase requisition or indent with specification, quantities, makes, and when it is required, in how much quantities. So all these things comes into the purchase requisition or the intent. Approve workflow. Review and approve the requisition by the finance and the procurement team, but also the user functional head also approve it. So thus here the finance and the procurement team are also a part. RFQ and a vendor selection. Request for quotation and choose the vendor by the pricing, performance, delivery, rates. Apart from that, compliances like your sustainability nowadays has become one of the most important parameter. Flexibility, your sustainability, your chances for the well-being. So all these criteria has to also consider. Now the purchase order creation. Issue the legal bidding purchase order for the selected supplier whose rates, quality, services, delivery, flexibility, number of factors are there that when that particular all those condition gets the purchase order. Goods and service received. Confirm the delivery and creates a goods and service notes or a service entry sheets once we receive the service or once we receive the goods. In case of a physical good receipt, we make the good receipt notes, or in case of a services, we make the service entry sheet. Now invoice matching and payment. Matching the invoice with a PO receipt and process the vendor payment. So here we see that once the material has been received, we see that the invoices with a PO and process with the vendor. So in a P2P process, we see that the need identification, requisition creation, approval of the workflow, RFQs, purchase order creation. Now after receiving the purchase order, receiving of the goods and invoice matching. So it's a P2P process. Now, why P2P matters in indirect procurement? Control the Marverick spending. As when the main thing behind reason in that is that ensure all the purchase follow the approval channels. For example, if any department wants anything, then there must be a functional head there, its approval, and all things should be in transparent manner. So Marverick spending or unnecessary spending should be avoided, or it should not be there. After that, we will see about the support budgeting and tracking, help monitor and enforce the budget compliances efficiently. Suppose you need to do a overhauling of a machine or installing a new machine. For in that particular case, you need to do the budgeting of the component. So for that, the P2P process is very essential. Enhance transparency, reduce the fraud risk with a clear audit trails. Suppose the companies like a PwC, Deloitte, KPMG are performing audit. Thus, in that particular case, if the P2P process is there, then audit will be the very transparent. Improve the vendor management. Track the supplier performance and strengthen the relationship, because main idea in the P2P process is a transparency. We are procuring with those supplier who fulfill all those requirement of transparency, quality, sustainability, resilience, and flexibility. Thus, and cost too, which is one of the most important principle. Thus, those vendor who fulfill all these criteria are awarded by the orders, and their performance is measured in terms of delivery too and quality. So these are all the benefits of the P2P procurement indirect processes. What we see that the control in Marverick spending, support the budgeting, enhance transparency, and improve the vendor management. Now, P2P process in action, a real world example. Requisition receive. HR requisition for a training session via purchase requisition. For example, HR want to conduct a training. They come to the purchase department for that requisition. Now the procurement invites quotes for the best selected vendors. After that, the PO is issued. purchase order sent to the approved training provider, number of training agencies are there, and best training services, what they are providing in the training. So all those contents are detailed review. After that, we go with final one. Now service delivery and payment. HR confirm that the service has been completed and the finance process that particular payment. So as we can see that the real world example of this particular process, whenever there is a service comes into the play, the same thing is applicable if we are buying a product of anything. Now, tools and automations in P2P. Leading ERP system, SAP, Oracle, Microsoft Dynamics, which includes your Power BI, Excel, and Coupa. Benefits of automation: enhance the control and compliances, because automation is there and everyone should be accessible to the data. So enhance the control and compliances. Faster processing cycle. If you need to make the PO, then in your manual Excel process, then you make again and again the replica of the PO and using the template. But in this case, you just putting the value and your PO is making. Simplify audit and reporting. In case of audit, all the data is available in the ERP. The you need to just run a report. You get the entire data in your system. Thus, the audit becomes very easy and simplified, which provides us a good reports. Now, take next step, and basically your take away and the next steps. Summary: effective P2P process drive the cost saving, compliances, and efficiency. Indirect procurement supports the daily business operations seamlessly. Call of action: please, if you find this video, then please like, share, and subscribe to my channel Nikhil Mittal Procurement, and request you for deeper contest. You can write a comment on my comment box so that I can write more useful content for you. Thanks for watching. Nikhil Mittal signing off.